Who are the best junglers to play this patch 5.1b? Before we start, let me share with you my tier grades and their definitions. S tier consists of the top 10 junglers from the SEA Server Leaderboards. A tier, champs outside the top 10 but are also picked from the server leaderboards. B tier, champs that can only be picked with certain team comps. C tier, champs that struggle to play against the higher tier junglers. Lastly, the D tier includes champs that are not good in this patch or should be played in a different role. Now, starting at D tier, Fiora and Sion are much better played in the Baron lane. Twitch got huge nerfs from previous patches. Warwick isn't getting enough success right now. I suggest playing other tank junglers. Diana is much better played in the mid lane. Nyla jungle and ADC is not good in the meta right now because of her short range. Samira is OP, but is played better in Dragon lane. Singe is a bit of a niche jungle pick. You should play him at your own risk. Moving on to C tier. Despite his popularity and buffs, I put Viego in C tier because he scored low in the server leaderboards. I'm not sure if he's better played in the Baron lane, but definitely, there are other champs better than him in the jungler role. Wukong and Rengar find it hard to compete with other junglers, especially when it comes to carrying potential. Darius and Dr. Mundo can be flexed in the jungle, but is better played in Baron lane. There are much better assassins than Fizz right now. He can be played in the mid lane instead. Graves does great damage, but can't contribute well for the team on the different aspects of being a jungler. Jax and Rammus counters high AD enemy comps, but struggles when getting kited. It's the same thing with Tryndamere, he gets kited a lot. I suggest playing Jax and Tryndamere in Baron lane. We go next to B tier. Zed and Jace are popular in the mid lane but can also be played when you need an assassin for your team. If you are good at playing these two champions, you will get wins from them. AP Gragas is getting popular again. This is due to the decline of AD assassins having their first strike rune, and Yumu's Ghostblade item nerfed from previous patches. Master Yi is finding success because of his rework and buffs, but he struggles in certain team comps and hard counters, like Rammus and other tanks, due to Thornmail item getting a huge buff. Gwen and Echo can be flexed in the jungle if you need an AP carry for your team, especially when the mid laner picks an AD assassin instead of going for an AP assassin or mage. The only disadvantage in playing these two champions is that they struggle in the early game. So, they need some time to scale before they can carry the late game. Shyvana is top 10 jungler during patch 5.0, but got demoted to B tier due to item changes and champion buffs to other junglers. You can still pick her especially on team comps with good healers or enchanters. Nunu and Willem is a good pick on any team due to his flexible build paths but struggles when kited and focused by the enemy team. Evelynn is a good assassin especially when you play her well, but she struggles against the bruiser meta of the top junglers right now. Fiddlestick struggles like Evelynn in the same way, plus his slow farming makes him a low priority pick in the jungle. Despite getting his buffs, Jarvan still struggles to compete with top meta junglers right now. But he's a good pick against enemies lacking dash or jump skills because he can easily trap them inside his ultimate. Shen and Amumu are good picks when you need a tank for your team, but there are other better tank junglers on higher tiers. Morgana is a team-dependent jungler. She can be picked as a counter to high HP enemy champs without mobility because she can easily burn their HP with her skill set. Next up is the A tier. Kha'Zix is still one of the best AD assassins out there. Previously at the top number 8 spot from patch 5.0, but fell off the charts during this patch. He can carry most of your games especially when playing against squishy enemies. Aatrox is another one who got swept by other jungler stats. He's the top number 9 from patch 5.0. If you want a hard carry champ for the jungler role, Aatrox is definitely a good choice. With the jungler meta favoring bruisers right now, Xin Zhao and Olaf rise to a tier. Xin Zhao can counter most of ADCs with his ult, while Olaf has anti-CC ult, making both of them fill the role of a frontliner for any team comp. Volibear is the best tank jungler to pick up right now. With Titanic Hydra getting a buff, you can abuse this item in combination with Heartsteel. Volibear can provide not just defense, but also offense for your team. Kayn remains at A tier because his blue transformation highly depends on the enemy's team comp. He also received huge nerfs this patch that may affect his late-game scaling. Riven is one of those champs that can fit well on different team comps. With her upcoming rework, Riven might become more popular in the competitive scene. Even though she's a highly mechanical champion to pilot, she's definitely good in this bruiser meta. Finally, we now go to the top 10 junglers from the SEA Server Leaderboards. Sorry Viego, but the Wolf and the Lamb are more popular than you when it comes to the jungler role. Top 10 goes to Kindred. Even though she's the only marksman in this list, Kindred's strengths are tailor-fit for a perfect jungler. She clears camps fast, secures objectives fast, and kills enemies faster. Aside from Kindred, a new addition from our top junglers list is Pantheon. A real god doesn't get affected by patch nerfs. Pantheon's damage still hits hard and can snowball the game early. His map-wide casting ult gives him additional advantage when it comes to ganking and roaming in the map. Our top number 8 spot goes to Camille. This champ excels in locking down a key target. Though her ult gets easily countered by Stasis and Chant, she still deals great damage while being able to tank damage for herself. Yone remains on his number 7 spot. Nothing new about this champ. His kit is broken and his damage is insane. Not to mention, Blade of the Ruined King items buff. He is slow in farming in the jungle, but he can surely carry the game when he gets his items. Meanwhile, Lilia rises to the top, thanks to her huge AP scaling buffs both from her skills and her item choices, Riftmaker and Rabadon's Death Cap. She can easily both one-shot squishies and tear down high HP targets. Nautilus steals the number 5 spot from Camille. Nautilus is one of the most flexible champs to play in the jungle. If you need more damage, go full AP. If you need to tank for the team, go defensive items. You also don't need to worry about your jungle clearing because you'll do great by just slapping in magic boots on your tank build. Vi remains at the number 4 spot. What's great with Vi, she doesn't require good mechanics for a player to pilot her. Plus, you can also build her defensively with the Heartsteel plus Titanic Hydra combo. Despite having nerfs to the assassin meta, Talon remains at the top number 3 spot. With his great mobility, high burst damage, and fast objective taking, he's one of the best junglers that can carry any game. Lee Sin remains and will always remain at the top. He can easily pick off mispositioned enemies. His dash can help you follow up on engages well and evade enemy projectiles. Though he gets outscaled by other junglers, so make sure to end the game quickly when you get an early lead. Now for the best jungler of this patch, Hecarim oust Lee Sin for the number 1 spot. Hecarim has fast jungle clear, can initiate teamfights with his ult, and has good sustain because of his second skill. He excels in long teamfights, which is perfect for this bruiser meta. And that's it, my jungler tier list for Wild Rift Patch 5.1b. Are your champion picks on the higher tiers of this list? Let me know in the comments section below. If you need some tips in playing the jungler role, check out these videos.